What is up, everybody? Back with a discography ranking here today, and it's one I've been meaning to do for a really long time. Motorhead, fantastic band that formed back in the mid-70s. They're from England. Were an absolute machine when they were together. So there was a 38-year period from when their first album came out in 1977, self-titled, and 2015, their most recent final album, Bad Magic. 22 albums in that span. That is less than every 2 years they're putting out an album, and most of them are really good, super consistent band. Not a terrible album in their discography, but of course there's some near the bottom I don't care for as much as others. As far as the lineup goes, they had two main trio lineups that everybody thinks of. The classic trio, which was Phil Taylor on drums, Fast Eddie Clarke on guitar, and of course Lemmy on vocals and bass. And then Mickey D, Phil Campbell, and Lemmy, again, frontman, leader of the band on vocals and bass. But a couple other members mixed in. You have Brian Robertson on one album playing guitar, who was previously in Thin Lizzy. Pete Gill on the drums for one album. He was in the band for about 3 years. And Tommy Aldridge did drums on one album. But, you know, other than that, not too much more to say here before I get into it. Not a ton of different adjectives you can use to kind of differentiate these albums. A lot of them have kind of a similar sound. They're a perfect example of a band that has that if it's not broken, don't fix it formula. They do what they do, and it's really good. Just high energy, in your face, aggressive, hard rock and metal. So with punky, kind of punky and bluesy influences at times, speed metal mixed in, but super influential, amazing band that I'm going to give my ranking of all 22 albums. I've got my list set up right here, ready to go. We'll give some key songs for most of them. I think the bottom one, I'm not really going to give any songs because I don't really care for the album at all, and that is going to be my number 22 least favorite Motorhead album is going to have to be Bad Magic, their most recent album, which for me, it kind of makes me sad a little bit listening to this because you can tell Lemmy's voice, in his voice, you can just tell he's sick and weak. He died exactly 4 months after this came out. This came out August 28th, 2015. He passed away December 28th, 2015. So just for me, don't really like listening to this because I can just hear that he's sick. It's kind of a sad thing. But I mean, some people can use the argument, yeah, he did what he loved right up until he died, which is true. Just for me, this one's got to be last. I rarely ever go back to it. But on to number 21, and that is going to be 1916. I know some people love this album. That's cool. I don't hate it. Just for me, just has never really stuck out or anything. You know, there's some decent tracks on here. Some I wrote down are I'm So Bad, Baby, I Don't Care. Pretty cool. Make My Day, Shut You Down. But yeah, never really loved this album. So, got to be pretty low here at number 21. So, I've got 7 of these on CD, just what I see in the store. I'll buy any Motorhead album I see in the store, just haven't taken the time to actually order the ones I'm missing. But, so my number 20 is going to be Motorizer. Came out in 2008, I believe. Pretty heavy, good album. Don't hate it. I think it's pretty good. Run Around Man's a good song. Buried Alive, Time Is Right, 10,000 Names of God are some of the ones I wrote down. But, yeah, of course, that trio, as I said, Mickey D, Phil Campbell, and Lemmy. Love that lineup. This is, overall, decent album. My number 19, I'm going to go with The World Is Yours from 2010. So I think this album was actually dedicated to Ronnie James Dio. He passed away, right around this time in 2010. Pretty good stuff again. I Know How to Die. Great opening riff. I actually did a top 10 Motorhead opening riffs video a week ago or whatever, and that one I had in there. So that's an amazing opening riff. Good, heavy stuff. A couple other songs I wrote down, just looking at my list here. Waiting for the Snakes, pretty good. Brotherhood of Man, Outlaw, I Know What You Need. So there's some pretty good tracks on here. Not a terrible album, but with a band with this many albums, you got to put something down there. So that is my number 19. My number 18, I'm going to go with Snakebite Love, which I do have on CD from 1998. So a lot of these albums from this one's one of the weaker ones of that mid to late 90s, early 2000s Motorhead, which was going a bit heavier. Just looking at some of these songs I wrote down. Dogs of War, good song, heavy stuff. Assassin is really cool. Take the Blame, Better Off Dead. So, again, some good songs here, but got to come in down at number 18. Now, number 17, you're going to go to 1986 with Orgasmatron. I know some people love this album. I mean, I'm sure there's someone out there that will put any of these albums as their favorite, but for me, Orgasmatron's got to be 17. I do love Mean Machine. That is one of my favorite songs by them of all time. Super freaking aggressive, hard-hitting song. Amazing opening riff. Just super awesome stuff. So that is one of my favorite Motorhead songs. But overall, top to bottom, Don't think this is super great from start to finish, but a couple other key tracks. Ain't My Crime, Built for Speed, the title track's really cool. Sepultura did a great cover of it. But yeah, that's my number 17. Number 16, I'm going to go with the self-titled debut from 1977. So with this album, you know, you can hear like snippets of greatness that was going to come like pretty shortly after it came out. But this one is like a tad too punky for me. At times, it feels like I'm just listening to like the Ramones, and I don't think that's that great. But and then it'll break off into some like really cool shredding from Fast Eddie Clarke, which is awesome and I like a lot. But you know, just overall, not an amazing debut, a decently solid debut. But some of the standouts for me, for sure, White Line Fever is a good song. Lost Johnny, Keep Us on the Road. So not a terrible album, but it is at number 16 for me. Number 15, got this one on CD too. I'm going to go with March or Die from 1992. Now, this is the one that Tommy Aldridge did all the drumming except for one song, which was Hellraiser, I think, and that was done by Mickey D. Mickey D is on the back, even though he's credited just for drumming on that one song. But the rest of the lineup, you see Wurzel and Phil Campbell and Lemmy. Good stuff here. Looking at, you got Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent, who is one of my favorites, obviously, anyone who's seen the channel before. Love Ted, that's a good cover. Some other standout tracks are down. We got Bad Religion's really cool, Jack the Ripper, Too Good to Be True, You Better Run, super cool, and Name in Vain. But yeah, not a bad album, but it is my number 15. Yeah, my number 15, trying to stay in order here. Number 14, so really the rest of these I'd say I like a lot. My number 14 here is going to be Aftershock, 2013. Great album here. I remember listening to it a lot back around the time it came out. But, you know, looking at these songs, Heartbreaker, super cool and heavy. End of Time, great song. Could be in, like, my top 25 Motorhead songs of all time. And that's saying something because they got, like, 200 and something songs. Coup de Grace, Death Machine, Paralyzed, some other standouts for me. Good album, my number 14. Number 13, I'm going to go with Hammered from 2002. So with this one, I always think of freaking Triple H hearing this album because, of course, The Game, probably the most badass, like, freaking walkout song in wrestling history, in my opinion. Triple H, one of my favorite wrestlers, so love hearing that. It's added as a bonus track on here, but it's on any version I've listened to. So that's an amazing song. Brave New World's really cool. Voices from the War, Kill the World, No Remorse, Red Raw, is that what I wrote? Yeah, Red Raw, good stuff. But yeah, that's my number 13, Hammered. Slide my list over here, stay in order with freaking 22 albums. Number 12, I'm going to go with Rock and Roll from 1987. Now, with this one, it was the return of Phil Taylor on the drums. Filthy Animal Taylor, he was out of the band. A couple years previous to this, he was not on Orgasmatron, but he came back for this, and there's some really good tracks on here. Blackheart has always been, I'd say, another like top 20, 25 Motorhead song for me. Really good stuff. Stone Deaf in the USA, The Wolf, Traitor, Boogeyman. So good hard rocking stuff here. Good album. Number 12, Rock and Roll. Number 11, I'm going to go with Bastards, which I thought I might have on CD, but I don't. So this one came out in 1993. On Your Feet or On Your Knees. Super awesome, heavy opening riff. Burner's a really good, heavy song. I Am the Sword, Liar, Devils. Really, really good stuff here. Bastards, number 11. Number 10, I'm going to go with Another Perfect Day from 1983. So this was their lone album with Brian Robertson. As I said before, he was previously in Thin Lizzy. Good album. Some people don't really like it too much, but I think it's a good hard rocking album. Shine, Rocket, the title track, Marching Off to War, Die You Bastard, some of the songs that I wrote down as favorites. But yeah, pretty good solid stuff from top to bottom. My number 9, I'm going to go with We Are Motorhead. So this came out in 2000. Got the freaking sticker still there on the front. Bought a used CD. But yeah, really awesome stuff. The first 3 songs on here, super heavy and amazing. See Me Burning, got a great little drum intro there from Mickey D, which I've actually got a King Diamond shirt on. This is the band he rose to prominence in originally. But See Me Burning's awesome. Slow Dance, Stay Out of Jail, another one of their best opening riffs, which I did include that on my top 10 opening Motorhead riffs. Just really, really good stuff here. Heavy album. We Are Motorhead, number 9, that was. Number 8, I'm going to go with Bomber. So this one, they released 2 albums in 1979. This one was the second they released in 1979. The other was Overkill. But Bomber, really good classic stuff. Dead Men Tell No Tales, amazing riff, just great song. Poison, Stone Dead Forever, all the Aces, Talking Head, great stuff. Most of it really good. My number 8, Bomber. Number 7 might be a bit higher than some people have it, but my list here, Overnight Sensation from 1996. So this was the first album with just this trio here, which was the final trio. Before this, they had Wurzel on guitar as well, alongside Phil Campbell, and were working as a 4-piece for like 10 years or whatever. But this album, really good. Looking at some of these songs, Civil War, amazing stuff. One of my favorites of all time by them. The title track, Eat the Gun, Murder Show. So a lot of really cool stuff on here. Heavy, good heavy album. Overnight Sensation, my number 7. So number 6, I've also got this one on CD. I'm going to go with Sacrifice at number 6. This is came out in 1995. Good stuff. It was the last with Wurzel on guitar alongside Phil Campbell, as I just said. Mickey D freaking destroying it on this. You can hear right from the opening track, title track. Amazing drum intro, very heavy album. So that title track is really good. Over Your Shoulder, War for War, Dog-Faced Boy, and Another Time. Some of my favorites on it, but most of this is really good. We're at number 5 now. So number 5, honestly, right up to this point, I've been debating which one of these I want to put ahead of the other, but one of them is Iron Fist, and one of them is Ace of Spades. So for me, as of this moment, could change depending on the day, but I'm going to go with Ace of Spades, number 5. Definitely their freaking most popular album, for good reason. A lot of great classics on it. The title track is amazing. Looking at the rest of these, some other favorites of mine would be Fast and Loose, Fire Fire, Dance is really cool, but The Hammer as well. Really, most of this is great. Ace of Spades from 1980, my number 5. So number 4, as I just said, I'm going to go with Iron Fist. Very close between these two. Love them both, but Iron Fist, great stuff. 82, didn't already say that, but Heart of Stone, Go to Hell, Loser, Sex and Outrage, Speed Freak, Jailbait, Dance, a lot of awesome stuff there. Or Dance was on Ace of Spades. Bang to Rights, I'm looking at the wrong shit here, but yeah, awesome stuff. Iron Fist, my number 4. And this might give me some flack here, because I'm going to go with another classic album right here, like old late 70s here, Overkill, my number 3. A lot of people's number 1. Really, any of these could be number 1, but for me, I'm going to go with Overkill. Title track is amazing. I absolutely love that drum intro from freaking Phil Taylor. Double bass kick is amazing. Just love the overall like flow and rhythm to the song. The shredding freaking from Fast Eddie Clarke is awesome. I like when it's like kind of fading out, and then it feels like the song ends, and then it just comes back with the double bass kick again, and they're going crazy with the shredding and awesome stuff. Fades out, comes back again, double bass kick, speeds up, goes. Just great song, start to finish. Stay Clean, Metropolis, I'll Be Your Sister, No Class, Tear You Down. Amazing stuff. So that is my number 3. Now with my top 2, this, I don't know how many people would say these are their top 2, but for me, got to go with Kiss of Death, number 2. Amazing stuff from 2006, really good, heavy album. Sucker, super awesome. Love the tone from Phil Campbell. Great riffing all over the album. Devil I Know, Trigger, Under the Gun, Living in the Past, Sword of Glory, Be My Baby, Kingdom of the Worm, Going Down. Really, most of these songs. Love Going Down. That's amazing. Just super heavy, fast, aggressive, awesome freaking album here, Kiss of Death. So that does leave 1. And my number 1 Motorhead album is going to be Inferno from 2004. Love this one. Super heavy again. Really, like this one and Kiss of Death, kind of the same style. Very similar sound, in my opinion. Terminal Show to start it off is amazing. Super heavy and awesome. Killers, one of my favorite riffs of all time by them. Suicide as well. Just amazing riffing from Phil Campbell. In the Name of Tragedy is great. Fight, super freaking aggressive, hard-hitting song again. In the Year of the Wolf, another great one. So those were, that's my number 1, Inferno. And those were my thoughts on Motorhead's discography. Very long, tough to freaking, you got to freaking write this stuff down. No, anybody's lying if they say they're not going to have some notes for this, but hundreds of great songs. I don't have to say all their songs are great, but hundreds of songs, a ton of great ones. Most of these albums are good. Motorhead is a fantastic band. As usual, I would like to know what y'all thought and give me your rankings in the comments. Until next time, thank you for watching.